'Cause he's not planning on painting solo. Paint with Josh. Oh, you do, you don't wanna miss it when he paints that sky. Paint with Josh. Oh man. What a banger that song is, let me tell you. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Paint with Josh. Hi, I'm Josh. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We're here again on a black canvas that's already been sort of prepped with a little bit of white and black gesso. As you can see, we've created all of our trees and all of our branches, and we've got everything up here nice and wet and slick and ready to go, right? Just by covering it with our Bob Ross Liquid Clear. Now, the Liquid Clear is a oil blending medium, right? Just allows our thicker oil paints to blend much more easily across this already wet surface, right? It also acts like a varnish and a gloss finish by the time you get done. Really cool. So, get out here, throw it down on the canvas, right? Now, no matter if you're just beginning, if you're the legendary Bob Ross or Bill Alexander, or if you're old ugly Paint with Josh, right, you're probably going to put on too much Liquid Clear. So, you take a bit of a paper towel. I use the Viva brand ones, the nice soft ones. Oh, they're so soft. Soft. Fabulous, right? We're going to fold it over like this into a little square, and we're going to remove all the excess clear. Because no matter if you've been painting for, almost 1,500 paintings, or maybe 5 paintings for you, or 30,000 paintings for Bob Ross, right? You never know. You're probably going to put on too much. So, get some of that excess off. Let's grab a little bit of our crimson-y color out of the old paint box, right? What do you guys keep your paints in? Do you want to see what I keep mine in? I've never really showed anybody. I can show you if you want. You just got to put a little hand up or say yes or whatever, and I can show you my old paint box that I use. But what do you keep your paints in? Do you have like a drawer? Mine kind of looks like a toolbox almost. Just a crazy old toolbox. You guys want to see? All right, I'll show you. Goodness gracious. You guys make me think it's easy. So, it's a little art bin. I think we got them online, and it does eventually close all the way down, and then you can take it on your little places. Every time I go to do an event or a mural or something, this case comes with me, right? Gotta have that big old monster. And then, especially if we're gonna go do a mural or something, I'll also bring this guy that carries all my kind of real hard, stiff, murally brushes, right? So, what do you keep your paints in? That's the question, right? Now, let's get out here. Even with this Bob Ross clear still on our brush, because we haven't really cleaned it, and you can tell by how the bristles are kind of stuck together like that. We'll get right out here into our blue and just kind of pull it down. Boom, 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 boom. A little bit of blue ski onto the brush. What do you guys keep your brushes in? All right, let's see. You have a tool chest, paint box, clear drawers. I love those clear stackable drawers, right? They just never seem to last very long for me anyway. So, out here with the blue, we're gonna go right over all of this wet paint, right? I'm gonna show you exactly what a transparent color is. Have you ever heard of it? Transparent color will show itself over the white area, and then will stay dark over the black area. So we can still see that black tree, and it hasn't been fully covered up by all of our blue, because the blue is a transparent color. It stays nice and dark when you go over a dark area, or vice versa. Pick some up, put it down here. This stuff's literally so crazy thick. You can put it anywhere, man. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Gorgeous. A little bit of blue. Phantasmism, right? Now, let's brighten up that sky, and then I'm going to show you a really cool trick, okay? So let's get in here with our white paint on an old 1-incher. Okay, we'll get down there. We'll just get a little bit of white right out onto the brush, and we're going to start to brighten up our bright spot out in the sky, right? Right in the midst of all of those tree branches, you'd have your bright area. Okay, now, the more that we mix it with this blue that we just put on the canvas, the darker it's going to get, right? The less that the white will actually show because it's mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. Isn't that fabulous, right? The more you get on there, and the brighter and brighter and brighter it becomes. Kind of pop it into the center, work it away from its own self. It's got all that brightness out in our sky, just sort of in a circular motion, you know what I mean? We're in a circular pattern anyway. That bit of bright. Now we got a little time. Maybe we can brighten up an area down here by streaking a bit of light straight through, right? Kind of covering over our little bridge that's in the background, because we don't want to see too many details on that guy. If you're going to have a bridge, right, it's either got to be in the mist or in the fogginess or in the light where we're squinting at it, or we have to be able to see every detail. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. Can't have it both ways. Now we got our bit of brightness out there. Let's take a little bit more paint. Maybe we sneak one right through there. Shining down through, maybe behind some of these other branches. It's not so bright, right? You can always blend it out if you wanted to. Or you can leave it a little bit brighter like that if you want to have that streaky feel to it, right? Now maybe a couple of our little streaky guys went off to the side too. You never know, right? All over the place, guys. Right out to the edge. Over on a diagonal, right? How do you want yours? How bright do you want it to be back in there? And then for the last little bit, let's just take one little bit of bright, toss it up there in between all of our little brightnesses, and just very lightly mix it around so it stays much brighter than everywhere else. Right? Boom! It's gorgeous, you guys. However you want yours to be is exactly how it's going to be. Now let's grab a whole nother different brush. All right, just because I'm too lazy to wash off the other guy. Let's grab a whole new little guy out here. And we're going to come into our Indian yellow back here. Right? This Indian yellow is just gorgeous. Now, we know as soon as we touch that Indian yellow with the blue, we're going to start having green interact, right? So I want to retain a lot of that Indian yellow all on its own without touching anything else. Let's start down here. Let's start dropping it in. And all this craziness, all this color, guys. It's there. It's everywhere. Remember, if you want to get this painting, go to PaintWithJosh.com. It's the very first thing you're going to see right up there on PaintWithJosh.com is this wonderful painting number 1496. That's a lot. That's a lot of paintings, you guys, if you ask me. Now, again, this Indian yellow, also a transparent color because it goes bright over the brightness and stays dark over the darkness, right? Now, watch what happens. We get a little bit of this, right? You guys tell me. I want you to tell me in the comments. What's going to happen if I take this Indian yellow, right? Even though it looks orange, it is yellow. Indian yellow, and I crisscross it across all that blue. Can anyone tell me what color we're going to end up with? Just in the comments. Just tell me what color we're going to end up with. If we take this Indian yellow and streak it across that blue area. You dudes. Mindy knows. Mindy, Frankie knows, everybody knows, right? Mix yellow and blue together, and we get green, of course, right? So, start dropping that yellow down as we come up, especially around the edges of our little guy. Look how green it went instantly, right? These little spaces where we'll have these differences because the yellow and the green the yellow and the blue are interacting. And so we'll have all these yellows and light greens and darker greens and light blues and darker blues and all these things, guys. Isn't that just fabulous? Same thing, come up here. We're not pushing real hard across all of those streaks. So we're not trying to drag them, right? But a little bit of that green. Oh, guys, we don't want to go too high up. But you can have that gradient blend of the green, the blue into the green into the yellow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Shoo, guys, that's gonna be a fabulous one. Oh, I like it. Let's take one more little bit straight down over that bridge, right? We want the bridge to stay over there. There we go, in the misty, foggy brightness. That's exactly where we want it to be. Gorgeous, 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 right? And again, if you start to get a little bit of green up here, a little bit more white, blend it out, nice and soft. Gorgeous, man. Oh, I like that, my friends. I like it. Guys, that's really cool. So, head over to PaintWithJosh.com if you want to grab this one, remember. Now, let's get into a smaller little fan brush. And since we already have our Indian yellow back underneath here, let's take a little touch. the lid on my thing, I guess it was like kind of standing straight up and it finally just fell over on its own. Over here and over there. Right now, let's start very lightly. I don't want to touch back here because it's already in that light, misty, foggy area back in there. The overly bright spot. Let's just start lighting up little places and then we'll get more and more and more paint, which will make it more and more and more bright. That, right? Don't worry about if you go over your little plants. It's okay. They're just there for a guideline, and then we're going to come back in, right? Again, we don't want to make it overly bright. Just like that. You get a really cool, again, little gradient green to golden yellow. Only because we didn't taint any of this Indian yellow with any other color back there, right? Now let's get a little bit more paint onto our brush. Out over here. And let's say we're going to start rocking and rolling over, right? You have to go over to the edge and down. You're doing it less and less and less the more that you get to the center, and more and more and more the more that you get out to the edge, right? We can always go back in, add more paint, this, that, and the other. Same thing off the other side, over the side and down. And eventually, we're going to have to get to a point where we're basically pulling straight down where the two meet, right? Just like that. Get your water to start falling over the edge, right? You want it to be a little bit more bright, or have those bigger, thicker chunks, you got to get them onto your brush first. And so you pick them up like that, roll over, drop off those little bits, right? They're perfect. Out here, we just take these guys and we just pull them straight back. All we're doing is just getting a little bit of brightness to kind of wiggle its way back so it starts to break up and fall over as it gets over here, right? Just fabulous, guys. Oh, I love it. It's a little bit wider and then it gets into a skinnier patch back there. Not everything needs to be so bright. Just like that. Very light little thing, right? You can decide what you want it to look like, how far you want the white to come down. Remember, you don't have to go down all the way because we're going to come in here with some crazy like little splashers, right? It came down, they're all over the place. They're trying to cover up our little dark separator down there, but we're not going to let them. Right? We don't want that to happen. And we don't want to hold the brush the same each time. I'm kind of turning and rotating the brush so you get these cool little hangy-downies all over the place, right? Work up into your waterfall versus down, otherwise you're going to run out of room down here. Let's take a little 1-inch brush again. Right? Come in here and start to mix it up, just very lightly. Mix, 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 mix. Now notice, we have our Indian yellow down here. We need our water, right? So we don't want to bring the color any further down. It's going to be very light-handed, very, very, very soft in the touch. Not trying to cover up too much of anything. Right? Come out here, you wiggle it, and you jiggle it, and you push it and mush it and smush it all the way down. This golden falls, baby. Come in here, just underneath that bit of brightness, trying to leave a small few areas of dark, right? You can start to brighten up your river down here. How wide does yours get? Up to you. Right? But if you don't leave that small area of darkness in there, you're going to be upset with yourself, okay? If you go over it too, that's perfect right there. That's a little dark, but of course we can't have them look exactly the same, right? But if we drag this guy with just a hair or two, just to get it down a little bit closer, right? We can kind of shrink those little areas down as small as we can get them, but retain that darkness. That's the shadow of that, all that mist back in there, right? Don't want to lose that guy. Out here, very, very, very pretty, you guys, so far. Now, let's get back up here into our craziness, and we got to start figuring out what our land looks like. We know what our water looks like. Now we got to start figuring out how the land is laying back there. And in order to start projecting stuff in our foreground and pushing all this into the distance, we need to make up a bit of Paint with Josh plaque. Now, do you know, in the comments, the 3-color mixture that it takes to make up Paint with Josh plaque? All 3 colors, all right here, and they're going to turn into this really crazy dark mix, right? Do you know the mixture? The 3-color mix. You got to let me know. I'm going to mix them up right here, right in front of you. And just really gets into this deep purplish blackish color, which we call plaque, like black and purple or purple and black. Plaque, right? Not the, let's not worry about that. Over here and over there, mixing it all up. Now, anything that we use this for is going to stand out in front of all that darkness, or brightness back there, right? So let's grab a big old fan brush. And let's start wiggling it down through that paint. I know I'm gonna wanna have a bush or two right here, kind of hiding my little bridge area. And then we're gonna be rocking and rolling, guys. Oh, I thought that was it. Remember, you can get this painting if you go to PaintWithJosh.com. This is literally what I do for a living. I teach how to paint. And hello, never mind, guys, I think. Just hang on. That's it. I'm thinking it's this painting. So, take that back. You cannot get this painting anymore. Not from PaintWithJosh.com, anyway. You're gonna have to talk to the purchaser. So, let's see. Where's my phone, anyway? I gotta see who got this beauty, man. Let's see. 1496. That's this one. Right on. Ooh, it's going across the country. So, let me know who you are if you got this one, right? And then I'll ask you to prove it to me. All right, GPP Home Improvement. Just tell me the last 2 digits of your zip code, right? Just the first 5 numbers. The last 2 digits of your zip code is all I want to see. And then, that'll show me anyway that it's actually you. And then we can continue. All right, GPP Home Improvement. You have purchased this painting, which means you not only get an awesome painting, but you won a free spin off the spinny winnie wheel at the end of the show, so you get a free gift, right? Possibly. There are a couple sections where I win, but I always give you a free spin anyway. Don't worry about it. And you get to pick the name of this painting. So you guys, as we start getting towards the end, start letting GPP Home Improvement know what you want to call this painting that they got, and then they can choose either their own title or choose from the list, right, of all of our commenters. Now, let's decide. Let's put a big old tree in here, right? I know I'm going to want to have my monster tree right here, just my big foreground tree. So let's put a couple off in the midground back here, right? Just by dropping in this brightness, bang, right, into there. See how that makes it stand out as closer, pushes everything off in the distance? Let's get over here and start popping in little babies, little baby branches. The more we go down, the more you can then push in, right? Start extending your little branches, however big you want them to be. This is a little skinny little guy, I like him. You drop down, drop over here, and bang, right? Feel that, feel that part. Boom, just like that. He's gorgeous, guys. He's a skinny little guy, I like him, right? Drop down a little bit of trunk, so we have a place where we know where we can land, right? Now, based off of his height and his base right here, and being in front of the light source, right? It's already popping right off of the screen, guys. A little bit more of our dark black color. Let's give him a little frame. Let's go a little taller on this guy. Pushing in. You see how we came all the way down like this? Coming all the way down. Pushing in, pushing in, pushing in. So it gets a little thicker as you go down to the bottom. Just like that. Right? Kind of deforms our brush. And then we got to go back and get that axe shape again. No, not Axe body spray. Geez, I wish they would be a sponsor. Oh man, I can just smell Axe in the studio the whole time. Let's come out here again, just with the corner, right? We're gonna start pushing in against it. The more you go down, the more you have to push, right, to make it get bigger. And then we get to start popping outwards and upwards and rotating and pushing, right? Making our tree look however we want it to look. Now, if we keep coming down with all these things on that angle, we're gonna cover up our other tree, right? So eventually you gotta leave some open spaces. Leave a little area where nothing has to really be all covered up, right? Very cool. And if not, check this out. Drop in a little teeny little branch in the center, right? They don't all have to pop out like crazy. We just want them to be out there in the night. And remember, this is all just a shadow, this whole darkness. It's just a shadowy bit of paint out there so we can plop on some highlights in front of it. Now, you know what? We got one more. We got room for one more over there. I'm pretty sure we could just sneak a little baby bang right in there. See how skinny we can make this little guy. The more we go down, the more we pop him in. Popping him outwards. Maybe this guy goes all the way to the ground, right? Depends on the kind of tree. There's all different sorts of trees out there. Fabulous. Oh, I love it. I just love it. All right, let's get over here. Let's start going crazy. All right, we're going to get a little bit of our plaque and this is one little dab of white. A little bit of our plaque over here. Pushing it up into our brush. I want to save some of these bits of green, but maybe these guys have a little bit on them, right? You get your branches of our little bushies kind of reaching out into the water, right? Trying to get out there and get some sustenance. Okay? Now, as we get to the side, of course, all of our little branches are going to want to dangle down, which is why we have all of this light color and our mist all hanging out and just ready for us, right? So we can catch all those little bits of flowery goodness. Man, that's fantastic. Okay, let's come over here and we're going to shake this guy off. We're going to go back and get some highlight paint. Now, what is going to help us? What's going to help us highlight these bushes? There's one thing I'm looking for, right? Not our pressure, not the, the brush, not any of that. What's going to help us highlight? What's going to help the paint want to come off of our brush and attach itself onto the canvas with the littlest of ease, right? One special ingredient that we gotta have, you guys gotta tell me, because I forget. I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know. Liquid white, that's right. Okay, now listen, if you don't have liquid white, it's okay. It's okay, okay? You can still thin your paint down with linseed oil and your titanium white and just make it much more runny, right? Or you could use a little bit of your odorless mineral spirit cleaner or some baby oil or something to make it less chunky, right? If it's all chunky up here, it's not gonna wanna stick to this chunkiness over here, okay? We gotta separate the chunkies over here. So we get a little bit of our liquid white. A little touch, that's probably too much. I could probably do both bushes with that amount. Squeeze that thing out. And you can see just what the difference in those white piles, right? There we go. You can see the difference in those. One is super wet and runny and one's like dried icing, right? So we're gonna get this green and our liquid white right in there. We'll start pushing up into it. And you can see I've got a bunch of white on the tip of the brush. So let's flip the brush over and get that white and turn it green. Ha-ha! Right there, right? And I don't want it to all be just bright green. So let's get a little bit of our yellow ochre as well. And you can even see right in front of it, it's a different texture than its actual self, right? So what if we come out here and we start popping on these little crazy little doers? Boom, boom, boom. Not trying to cover every piece, right? Leaving a little bit of darkness underneath. Maybe we caught a bit of light out in the back over there, right? Not everywhere has to be the same color or the same brightness or whatever, right? It's not, nothing has to do anything, really. Get a little bit more of our liquid white and our green. Now I'm going to switch over to my cad yellow, the brighter of the two yellows. All right, get into this little guy. There we go. Just change up the flavor just a little bit. Right? We don't want it to be wildly different, but just a little different in there. You can hang some of these guys off the edge. They're not going to be really seen dangling down so far with all of our light back here, right? Depends on who you talk to. Dylan. No, I'm just kidding. Dylan was giving me crap about my highlights the other day on a painting, and I was like, dude, I'm not in the mood. And after like 4 hours, he finally convinced me. I was like, fine, here. I'll fix it, fine. All right, now, let's also get some, not necessarily wild colors, but some wild colors, right? Some different things in there, like maybe a little bit of bluey. I love putting blue as a highlight color on some of these little bushies, right? Maybe they had a couple little bits of like, just little blue flowers growing in there. And again, it doesn't have to be the most bluest thing that's in the entire thing, right? You just want, as the viewer, you're gonna be looking at the painting and go, oh shit, there's blue right there. Did you notice, Karen, did you notice there was blue in this painting? Did you know, right? Because it's not gonna stand out as the brightest, craziest thing. At least it's not supposed to. If it does, then we probably got an issue, right? We don't wanna have issues. So, over here, over there. Now, let's get in and highlight this guy, right? Let's go into that yellow ochre. What's with this brush? Now I got too much paint on it. There we go. The yellow ochre with our liquid white. And that just a small little touch of our green over here. There we go. Gorgeous. All right, there's the color. Right in there. Now, that bit of like brownish yellow, okay, will go greener when we start touching it to this plaque, because there is blue in the plaque, right? So when you have your yellow and your blue, eventually the more times we tap at it, the more green it will be, right? Now we don't necessarily need every tree to be the same. A couple little taps here and there, catching little pockets of light. That's all we're doing, guys, little pockets of light. I'm kind of going back over them. leaving those little bits of darkness in there. You get these really cool little effects, let me tell you. If I ain't told you once or done it for you once, I've done it a million times. Check that out. Look at that. Right, now, let's go back in here again. Very small amount of liquid white, and we don't want to overdo it. Right? Come over here into our green. Now we got more green on the brush than anything else, but we still have that yellow in there. And we got the blue on the plaque, right? So it's going to help us. And then stay along the outside edges first, and we start tapping and tapping. We're going to want to keep separate our two trees, right? They're very close together right there, but there is a separation between this tree and that tree. You don't want them to all look like the same tree. And as I was saying before, each time we touch that brush to the plaque, it drops off some color, picks up some plaque. So you go back, get your little bit of liquid white again. I'm talking about smallest bit because it's already saturated and wet over here, right? We don't need it to be much more wet than this. Otherwise, it's going to be falling off of our brushes, right? Come down, start tapping. Actually, let's start at the top. Start at the top because you got all that bright paint. It's nice and fresh. Right? The more we work it down, the darker it will get because it's dropping off the color and picking up the plaque all on its own. Now, some of the times you might not be able to get a full tree. Oh, are we going to do it? Oh, we done did it, guys. Some of the times there's just not enough. You see how we almost literally went through every single bit of brightness on the brush? There's just not enough on your brush to do it. So you got to go wipe it off and go back and do it again. But that one, we got lucky. We got lucky over there, guys. Okay, a little bit of our green, a little bit of our yellow ochre, and the liquid white. And remember, you don't want to have any liquid white showing, because then it makes it look like snow on your trees, right? A couple little big, actually that one's there we go. Little baby guy. Not much room on him. You don't want to cover up all the bits. Right? Got to keep our trees separated. Work in these little bits of darkness down here. Gorgeous! My goodness. Oh, it's fantastic, everybody. Don't you just love it when things work out great? A little bit of white, a little bit of brown. Ooh, that's a bit too bright. A little bit of our darker brown as well. There we go. There. Right? Come in here and grab this guy, kind of touch along the side. Maybe he's got a little tap in the center. A little bit more on our bigger trunk over here. And the little guy doesn't need too much, right? Now we got to fill in our whole side of our canvas over here, guys, with this one big tree. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that we've got enough paint in this pile of plaque right here on the palette? Do we have enough paint to do this big tree and his branches and his bushes to finish off the painting? Yes or no comments only, please. Do we have enough paint in that little guy to make our whole big tree? Yes or no? I'll even keep it up here so you can look. That little thing right here, little Pac-Man pile. Do we have enough in the Pac-Man pile? We got some yeses, we got some nos, we got some stuffs. All right, well, since we have yeses and nos, I guess I'm gonna have to try, right? I gotta try to prove the yesers wrong. I don't think we have enough, so let's get in here. Let's get down on all this paint, trying to suck it all up into the brush. Get up in there. All this guy, we know we're gonna have a tree living about right about there, right? Boop, stop out there, Josh, okay? So we're gonna come down from the top, line it up, and start dropping it on. Ooh, I don't know, guys. We had enough to make the trunk, but do we have enough to make all the branches and the bushes like I asked you guys, right? Oh, isn't that crazy, just like that? I would say no, we don't. Let's pop a little bit of just an odd, just make him look weird down here, right? Just so it's not a straight thing. I never like having like a straight old branchy or a straight old tree trunky thing. They all have little bends and pops and little bulbs and all sorts of stuff, right? So, to all the people that said, yes, we had enough, you guys are wrong. Just wrong, wrong, wrong. So now you got to tell me what 3 colors that we mix up in order to create more Paint with Josh plaque. Right? What colors do we throw down and scoop up and mush and push and scoop and push and scrape and scoop and flop? And how many more adjectives or verbs? Don't ask. I don't even know the difference. Adjective is a action word, because an adjective, action, adjective, right? Right? I know that's wrong. I'm just playing a joke. Okay, now that we got a little bit more of our paint, let's get all sorts of crazy with our liner brush, okay? Now our liner brush is very, very, very small, very thin. And our paint is very, very, very thick, right? So it doesn't want to move very easily with a very small brush. So you have to get it wet. See how it's running? It's literally dripping and running away from my palette over here. And that way, look at this, just bink, right in here. And start dropping these little tree branches off, and they can go as far as they want. They can be as big as they want, as long as you want to go. Right? Out in the night, you got a little nub on one, that's room for another little branch, if you ask me. All these little things, remember your branches are only going to show if they're in the light. They won't show if you go like this and then go back into the darkness. Eventually, no one's going to see that back there, right? So don't spend too much time on the right side of your tree, except in the areas where you can clearly see branches, okay? Over here, a little bit more of that plaque mix, and you dump it off. You start getting all crazy and jiggly, and we got so many little pieces that are busted off of this thing, and little sharp little edges, and longer little branches, and little things, and sticks. Oh, he's just a spooky looking tree, isn't he? Oh, he's a spooky old guy. Bing, bang, zip down, right? Get all these little things out there, wherever you want them to be. It's all up to you. I'm not out there telling you, you can't do that, right? No, no, no. You do whatever you want to do out here in the night. All right? And then you tell me when you're finished. Go over there, a couple little bits. The best parts are the odd broken pieces. And the best paintings have a lot of them, right? The best trees are really scraggly, especially out where we have like a broken piece of wood right there. You know what I mean? Not every branch gets to just grow forever. You're going to have all these crazy little snappy little pieces. Zip! String it out if you want, right? However you guys want it to look is exactly how it's going to look. Crisscross in front of that guy, just keep going down. Right? All up to us, catching that light, zipping through our branches. Bing, bing, zip! All the way out, right? How far do you want to go? That's up to you guys. Not up to me, okay? Oh, that's fantastic right there. All right, let's just take one more. A big old monster branch off of his backside in that light area right there. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous, guys. Now, GP Home Improvement. You guys. How are you liking it? Or where's our purchaser at? GPP Home Improvement, I think it was. You down with GPP? Yeah, you know me. Dude, if that is not your guys' theme song, I could make you a theme song and you guys could go viral with you down with GPP and then, yeah, you know me. And it'd be like all of your staff. Like, yeah, you know me. Like, tell me. I'd laugh at that video and hit the like button. I don't know about you guys, but I would. I would, but I'm a nutcase, so. Also valid points here, people. Valid points. I like it. Cool. All right, now let's get out here. We got to use a little bit more of that plaque, right, to create our little bushy section right down here. And since we're going with all these crazy dark kind of greens and that stuff, let's go with that plaque mix, popping it up. Remember, we're reaching out over our little bits of waterfall. I like making it just odd so it's not a perfect shape, even if it's just one little piece, just so it's not a perfectly rounded thing. And came down here and just popping them in and popping them in and popping them in. Lowering them down over the edge, right? Very simply turning our brush, dangling it down, hanging all these little hang-me-downs, right? All that darkness right on the edge of the light. Love it. Okay, then we gotta go back and highlight this guy. So we're gonna wash off all of our brush, shake out that dark color, beat the down, come back in. I wanna throw some blue since we got, actually I wanna throw some purple. I want to throw everything in there, right? We'll get a little bit of our purple action over here. Purple with the white. Now, maybe behind the tree especially, we wouldn't see very many details, so we have these little bits of our purple little highlight back in there. Just working in a little bit of light, right? All you have to have, a little bit of difference, just so it's not pure black. Let's see. off of our one side. I want to see like a green with a bit of bright yellow maybe back in here. Just ooh, it's got some pinky little bits in there too. Gorgeous! Just tapping off little things, right? Hand-me-downs all the way down our canvas. You can crisscross over your colors, right? Just have that brightness up there and then the darker color as we work down. Let's get a bit of our blue because I love the blue. The blues are fabulous. We got every color in this painting anyway. Let's go in here into our little bluey highlights, start popping them off into our river. And lean out over the edge and they get darker because it's mixing in with that plaque mix. So you get your brightness into your darkness. Man, that's not just fantastic. Goodness gracious, you guys. So, you guys have to start coming up with a title for GPP Home Improvements, right? And I'm going to start throwing some chunky bark all over this crazy guy. We're going to get a bit of our two brown colors. A lot of it, by the way. Because these trees are the most texturized of all the treesies in this painting, that's for sure. GPP Home Improvement is literally going to be able to run their fingers up and down this tree and feel all the bark. Literally, because there's going to be so much. A bit of white, a touch of our yellow ochre, a little bit of our brightness out on the edge. We just need it to be brighter than every other part of our tree trunk, okay? Now, you can either start from the back and go with your dark browns, right? And start filling up all this texture just by tapping at it, literally. Going like this. Scooping up that entire thing of paint and then just tapping it, tapping it, tapping it, tapping it, tapping it. And then we go back and we just kind of tap, 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 just like that. Literally on the tree, okay? You guys can do that. You can. Right, we'll come in here and we'll start our little tappy poos all the way down. Bringing it over towards the center, right? Keeping the majority of the dark color on the back. Now what happens if we grab a bit of this brightness and say, right out on the edge, that little bit of bright color, right? If you go too far out on the edge, you just keep tapping at it, it'll work itself down. But you get that little bit of brightness from our back piece back there, right? Not everywhere is going to be gorgeous and super bright. Little touch, maybe out here, tapping, tapping, tapping all the way down, just so you get that bit of bright color. And then we got our darker color that's behind there, and then we'll mix in a little color right in between, and it'll kind of ombre our tree from very bright to very dark in all of this crazy texture, you guys. Just by tapping it in, right? You don't even have to fill it in completely. You can leave the real dark areas, especially in the center, where you have all that crazy, these little ridges that run down in the bark, you know what I mean? And not everywhere is totally perfectly seen or visible every time, right? Just like that. Little crazy of a tree over here. He's nuts, right? Now, let's take a little color. Let's go somewhere in between these guys. A little bit of white, a little bit of those, a lot more of our brown. There we go. All right, so now we got bright, midway, dark. So we'll go into our midway color and start tapping that guy into the center. Not trying to cover up every piece, right? Just having a little bit of brighter color in there. And as we go down and down and down, it gets darker and darker and darker. Now, let's work in our crazy face, you guys. The face of the tree. Okay? Damn, that's cool. Okay, let's imagine we're going to have like our little nose section about right there. Right, so I want to do perfect. I'm just going to tap one little touch. Bang, just like that, right? We've got all the other wood on there already. So if we just add a little indication, and then we can go around this little opening, right? Touching very lightly. Okay, gorgeous. Now we got a bit too much of our bright right in here, so we got to come back in, adding that darkness right in between the two to keep them separate again. Okay, just like that. Now we get our plaque mix, and we'll throw in some crazy, like super dark eyes, right? Just a dark space. You get your eyes, got your open mouth of your little tree guy hanging out right there. Just fabulous, man. Here we go, right out. Yes, I can see him. You guys see him? Because I can see him. it in, get a little bit more of our darkness. Just working that light away towards the back, right? Oh, it's like the Keebler elves want to go in there and hang out. Oh man, I dig that. That's cool. Bring this dark color down a bit more. There we go. He's got saggy old eyes. I like that, guys. All right, let's get out here. Take, again, small little bits of our bright and try to get them to attach onto pieces of our branch, right? Where the brightness comes out of, right? Because these guys might be a bit brighter out there than some of our guys off the back or some of our branches off the front of the tree, right? Little places of bright highlight. And then again, back over with our darker, thicker paints and kind of tapping on little bits each time these little branches come out. They're a little bit bigger, they're longer, they're sharper, they're crazier, right? You gotta have all this textury madness. I love the madness of these trees and the scraggliness, you know what I mean? That's the part that gets me. I'm like, oh, there, look at all that. Not only all the texture, but all the drama that this tree has grown up with, right? This tree, man, has seen some days out here by this little waterfall. And so it's just got this scraggly feel to it. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Little touch. Remember, you gotta have enough on your knife if you want it to come off when you tap at your tree. And you don't have to go all the way to the ends, but you want that little bit of odd craziness, right? And all that texture. You're gonna be able to see it from different hallways as you're walking down. You're like, holy cow, this thing is like just depth for days just on its own bark. Right, a little bit over there, a little touch. There, guys, up here. What's off to the side? Gotta have a little piece out there. I knew we were missing a branch. I just couldn't see the thing. There we go. Couldn't see the thing. Little touch, little tap. Gorgeous. All those weird little things make these trees so cool, just in my own opinion. Just my own self. Right? Drop down a little bit of wood off of that guy. Yeah. Maybe he got broke in the night. Who knows? Little things, wherever we can get it. Now, you guys got to start coming up with a title for this painting, right? And tell GBB, was it BB? GBB, right? Or GPP? I can't remember now. Either way, tell them what you want to name this painting, because we're just about to be finished with it, right? So, let us know in the comments, what would you name this painting if you had just painted it? And then GPP Realty, or Home Improvement. I'm all over the place. Muddy Waters, I like that title. That's a cool title out there. Right out here, little things, beep, beep, beep. Boom, boom, boom. Little touches off little branches. And not everything has to all be all texture all the way to the end. Okay, trust me. These little guys especially, you don't have to go that far, right? You don't have to go that far. Tapping in, little things. Just kind of creating branches as you go, really. Just create them branches, right, as you go. Toss a little branch off that guy, maybe one off of that guy, and they all ended up getting busted off and broke. Man, that's a cool looking little thing. GBB. Are they still here? Did they leave? Is it BB or PP? Because now my dyslexia has taken over. I'm like scrolling up trying to find them in the comments. Guys, where are you at? Oh, it's long lost. Are they still here? Anybody know? I think it was... I don't even know anymore. GPP Home Improvement. Copy. GPP. So you guys got to let them know. What do you think? You appreciate it. You got to let them know what do you want to name this painting, right? And then they are going to choose either from your comment suggestions, or maybe they've been thinking of their own name this whole time. Right? A couple little bits popping up out of here. Things in the night. In the night, guys. Love these little things. Beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. Little babies, little sticks growing up, right? Okay. GPP Home Improvement. You now have the distinction. Actually, let's throw in just a little touch of some spray on this guy. Since we're so close, I would imagine we would just see just a little bit of our watery spray coming out of all that stuff, right? Don't want to do too much. Just a small little touch. Just enough to when they're looking at it that it doesn't stand out right away, but the more you stare into that water, the more you notice little specks of brightness, right? Into the night, says Bree. That's my title for everything. Into the night. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. A couple little bits of just watery goodness. And just we got a little change here, there. Drop it down. Perfect. Just perfect. Literal perfection. All right. Let's add in our little bird family and then we'll sign it. And then we're gonna need a name from GPP Home Improvement. Let's go right here. Let's go caca flying through the night. In the night. Alright, wiping off this guy, wiping off that guy. You guys are awesome. Now, let's get in here. We'll throw it down underneath. Just a little baby guy. So, GPP Home Improvement, we want to welcome you to your newest addiction, which is going to be buying Paint with Josh paintings. Ask any purchaser before. Once you get one, man, oh man, you want to get more. So, it's just like these wall panels. I tell you guys I ordered 6 more packs of these wall panels so I can do my whole apartment with them. Oh, I've gone mentally crazy from all the fumes, I think. I think it's the fumes. That's what I'm blaming it on anyway. It's gotta be the paint, man. It's gotta be the paint. Alright, let's get some of these brushes cleaned off. Wow. GPP Home Improvement comes up with a title for their painting. And then they can tell me whether or not they chose a title from the audience or they chose a title from themselves. They can just tell me what the title is, because I don't mind either which way. Either which oneeries. This guy needs an old run through the beat the devil. This guy too. Fan brushes are always scary when you beat the devil out of them because they could snap in half. You literally bust in half and then you got a half a fan brush right there. Alright, I have 5 brushes to clean and then we got to clean the palette. So, you got about a minute and, ooh, we already have a title. Mystic Falls. I like that. Oh, we're giving a shout out too. Excuse me, Lori Ann Mullally? Is that how you say that? Lori Ann, they're going with her title suggestion of Mystic Falls. I love it. Literal, brand new spanking canvas. And we got a brand new buyer, and they are just about to realize how fun it is when you get a Paint with Josh painting during the show, and then just how crazily addicted you'll get to them. Let's see. This one's number 1496, the year that Columbus picked up sticks. That's right. You all know it. You already know, guys. 1496, the year that Columbus picked up all them sticks. Oh, that's funny. All right, this was painted on 9/26 of 2023. We're all going to go to PaintWithJosh.com because beyond like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all the mega sites, right? PaintWithJosh.com is like top 5. Top 5 in my dreams. Maybe one day. Maybe never. Probably never. But in any case, there we go. Boom! Guys, man, this one came out so fabulously. I just love it. I just love it. Yeah, now everybody go follow GPP Home Improvement as well. Let's see. I got to give them a follow back right here, obviously. Get you a follow back, and everybody go pin these guys. Let me see if I can pin a comment. It's been so long. I'm so excited. I love it. Thank you. Well, thank you, because I am super excited that you love it. And I can't wait to get it all the way out to where you are compared to where I am. We're on like opposite ends of the US. So, this one might take 4 to 5 days to dry. And then it'll be in a box and it'll be on its way to you. And what's today? Thursday. You'll probably get it by next, not like next, but Monday after next. You know what I mean? Just to let it dry. Then we gotta box it up, and then we gotta ship it. And being very far away from me like you are, it might take a day or two extra on the shipping side, so. But in any case, we'll get it out to you. And you'll get your brand new addiction. I gotta be on, isn't that on TLC? Like, my strange addiction is buying Paint with Josh paintings, right? Very cool. Very cool, guys. I'm so almost out of thinner. I should probably just put more in that cup. But I've also only got one brush left to clean. So I'm trying to get away with not doing it. Not having to do it until tomorrow anyway. And I could be lazy for tonight. Alright, so you guys. GPP Home Improvement. Since they got it during the live show, they get a chance on the spinny winny wheel. Right? So go get the spinny winny wheel. This last brush away, clean up this last bit. So don't go anywhere, because they're about to win a free gift just for buying during the live show. That's all you gotta do. Get the painting during the live show, or a painting of, normal value, of 220 or more, and you qualify for the spinny winny wheel, which is a lot of fun. And always, I like to thank you guys too. Thank you to GPP and all the buyers who ever purchased during the live show, because it makes it more fun for the audience, right? We get to have a light party. Then we get to do the wheel. We get all this crazy fun stuff, right? So, speaking of light parties, here's your flash warning. If you're sensitive to flashes, turn your phones away for about 10 seconds, starting in about 5 seconds, and I'll tell you audibly it's okay to turn and look back, right? 3, 2, 1, light party! Boom! Holy moly, guys. That looks so cool. So cool. Oh. Just cool. Right? Thank you for sharing the live. I love you. And Asia Yasin, you can definitely hit me up. We can do a custom one for sure. Man, the light party's over, by the way. This one came out fabulously. And we've got one little deal right here. One thing left to do, guys. The final part of the show, right? Means you have to see my not so handsome face. Hi, welcome. All right, let's flip you guys around. There we go. Look at that painting right there and that wall. Look at that wall. All right, so this is the spinny winny wheel. You have now qualified to spin it since you got the painting during the live show. So let's get you a drum roll ready, right? Hand on the drum roll button. Here we go. For BPP Home Improvement. Oh, you get a Paint with Josh t-shirt. Paint with Josh t-shirt. T-shirt. Boom. So, you'll get your painting, right? That'll come in the mail. And then separately, probably 3 to 6 weeks after that, your t-shirt will come from the factory, and it'll be a free t-shirt. So just let us know what size you need, and what kind of lights am I using? Shoot, I got them off of Amazon. I don't even remember anymore. They're like 8-inch, like 52 LED can light things. It's super loud with the in the background. That's the lights. You're hearing it now, aren't you? That's those lights. Tyler, Brad, Bob. So, BPP Home Improvement. You'll get your shirt ways down in the future. You'll get your painting well before that, because this will be dry and ready. And thank you just literally so much for, for the light party. Yep, those lights. I'll show you. Hang on. You want to see them? Hang on. Let me just turn the camera around. See up there? So we got 2 of those guys that flash and throw out all the crazy lights off of the light board, which is over here, which we have to spin up to then get the crazy lights going, right? All the lights are controlled off of this board, so I could literally do everything I need. And luckily I have them all all taped off so everything comes back to normal when we finish. But yeah, same things that are back behind my easel that are lighting up the back are the same lights. And I got mine off of Amazon. They were like 150. The whole thing altogether was like $375 or something, with the board, all the cables, all the lights. And I was like, oh God. But it's really made my show a whole lot better. So yeah, GPP, I almost forgot. What size shirt do you need? It'll just be I won this. No, I think it says Paint with Josh on the front, and on the back it says I won this shirt off the Spinny Winnie Wheel. All right, so just let us know. And it's on my face. Is there something wrong with that? Let us know, and we'll get you on the list, and then we'll get the thing. XL for the shirt size. Thank you very much. Beyond that, you guys have been amazing. I love you all so much. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Not only right here on TikTok, but also on Facebook and on YouTube. My face is on my face. We'll do it on Facebook and YouTube, and it's going to be amazing. So I can't wait to see you guys over there tomorrow. I think we did everything. We got the Diamond Art Club kits that are out and available on diamondartclub.com. I've just sent them like 10 of the new things. So we'll see, maybe a couple of those will get picked out for new kits. They have a brand new kit of mine, an Aurora Borealis mountain kit that's coming out winter, they say, which I don't know when that is. Just keep an eye on their Instagram, I guess, is literally what the lady told me. So just keep an eye on our socials and you'll see when it's out. Like, okay, I'll do that. I see it every day anyway. I'm on Instagram. I see all their stuff. So, but the brand new Diamond Art Club kits will be out winter, they say. The Paint with Josh brush line, which I get questions for all the time. They are mass producing. They're mass printing the brushes right now. When those are done, they're going to send me my set, I guess, and then they're going to release the things, right? So apparently it's supposed to be in October or early November, I hope, because I'm so tired of you guys asking me when they're coming out. Like, I don't know. I just like you. I have to ask them. I don't know. But they're coming out soon. Joe Santos, my dude. I know, they're eagerly awaiting the releases of the brushes. I keep telling them that. I don't know. I'm assuming it's almost October, right? So maybe I'm hoping the first week, second week, okay, right? I mean, as soon as they're done, it's going to take them at least a week or two to make it to me. From England is where they ship them out of. Maybe less than that. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my badunker because I have no answers. No answers for the questions. So send them emails. That would be funny. But yeah, you guys have been fantastic. I love you. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it. Really freaking just... I love these scenes so much. Literally so much. Beyond that, not as much as I love all of you guys, right? You guys are the fantasticals. I said tasticals. Fantasticals. All right. So, you guys are amazing. I love you. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again on Friday. Friday night freestyle. 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and then we'll come back for our second show at 7 p.m. on the West Coast and 10 p.m. on the East Coast. So, beyond that, I love you all. I can't wait till I see you again, and until then, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and bye.